really did not choose it myself, but the government made me do it. Government indicted me in 2018 on the charges of Medicare fraud and narcotic distribution, and that was a totally false charge. They gave bail to all other 5 defendants, but they did not give me the bail. I ended up spending 3.5 years in the prison waiting for the trial. Now, this is against the Constitution of United States, the 6th Amendment, that they have to have a trial in cases of the pre-trial detention in a very speedy manner. So I spent 3.5 years in the prison, waited for the trial, and in the end, a jury of 12 men and women acquitted me fully of all the 54 charges. The question is that how are they going to give me back the 3.5 years of my life that I lost, and my wife Pame and my daughter Sonia lost this time. How are they going to give me back? The other question is that 2 of the doctors pleaded guilty for their own reasons, nothing to do with the work they were doing with me. Now these 2 people, and I'm happy for them that they never went to prison, they did not have to spend a day in the prison. I'm happy for them and for their family. But how do we reconcile that somebody who pleaded guilty, somebody said that I committed the crime, they did not spend 1 day in prison, and I was in the prison for 3.5 years, and finally acquitted fully in the trial. So how are they going to compensate the time that I lost with my family, with my work, with my patients? How are they ever going to compensate that? And that is the reason that I'm writing the book, that people should be aware about the judicial system in the United States. It is really a corrupt system from bottom up all the way. There is only one thing that is fair. And I realized that when I was in the prison, that if I have to survive and if I have to come out of the prison, the only way is the jury, because they are impartial. They are the common people, 12 men and women, and that was my focus. And that's exactly what happened, because the prosecutors, the US attorney, and I dare say even the judge, they want to win. They want a conviction. They have to win at any cost. Doesn't matter whether it is fair or unfair, as even moral or immoral, it doesn't matter. They just have to win. This is the culture. It has become a cult, that this is the culture. An ordinary man like me, to have a defeat from an ordinary person for a huge big government, which is the most powerful in the world, they cannot accept that. And they tried everything to make me take a plea deal of pleading guilty. I said, I'm ready to compromise, but I'm never going to plead guilty. This is never going to happen. It is question of my honor, the honor of my family, the country where I come from, and this will never happen. They said, you are going to die in prison. I said, so wait, I'll die in prison, but I'm never going to take a plea deal. And if I cannot go home, I cannot go home. They tried that with my wife and daughter, told them to ask me to plead guilty so that at least I'll be able to go home. Otherwise, he will come home in a black bag. This is what they were frightened by this kind of thing even from my own attorneys and the government. But this one thing I could have never accepted, and I never did. I took about a year and a half to write the book. After writing the book, I hired an editor, Jennifer, who is here, and then I made her the co-author. So it took some time, about a year and a half. The book is ready now. It is in your hands. And what was your other question? Okay. About the film. I did not have any plan of making the film. It is a very difficult thing to do. All I wanted to do is to write the book and tell my story. and hope that there will be awareness about the judicial system in the common people, and something can be done about it, because this cannot be tolerated. This kind of unfairness, and particularly being an immigrant coming from India, and this kind of thing. Part of the reason maybe even that the film came up when I met Prashant. And Pami was interested that there should be a film on this subject. And when I met Prashant, I felt that we can do a good job. And this is little difficult work, because you have to put a lot of people together to make sense of it. But I think we can do that. And I hope that it will be a good film. I hope there will be awareness about the judicial system. Because I'm an educated man, I've been involved here in social activities, political activities, and I did not know when I went in the prison that how bad it is. I had no idea that they will do anything to win, no matter what, And so people have to know what they are facing. And 0.03% people win from government. So it is a kind of arrogance to think that you will be in that 0.03%. But I couldn't do otherwise. I couldn't take the plea. That I would never do. No, there was no special treatment. I was like any other prisoner. It is tough. It is very difficult in the prison. Well, all kinds of people, but it was kind of okay after a while, because I was in Milan, Michigan, in the prison for quite some time, 2.5 years there, and I never made any friends, but I never offended anybody. I kept it to myself. I read for 10 hours a day there to keep myself occupied, preparing for the trial, and then many other books. But it became okay after a while, because these people also, there is something in them that they also have a heart and they also have a soul. I became their second opinion on the medical field, because they never trusted the medical system in the prison. So if there is anything, they would come and talk to me that what should be done.
So you tried to help them?
I did whatever I could do. And then another thing that I was teaching them about many things. Drug abuse, drugs. 50% of the people in American prisons are related to the drugs. And I was teaching them. I did a lot of work about that for Government of India, the drug abuse, HIV, AIDS, smoking, alcoholism. So I was teaching them on these issues. And then I was also teaching them about the financial things, that when you get out of the prison, you still have the opportunity, and anybody in America, the country gives you a great opportunity. Anybody can become millionaire here if they have a discipline. And I was telling them there are 4 things you have to do when you go out. Take a job, whatever your ability is. Save $500 a month, put it in a Roth account, let it grow. Stay married, don't have divorce, and invest in America. If you do that, anybody can make it in this country. This country gives you a lot of opportunities. Yeah, I have a whole chapter on in the book, that modest proposals about the judicial system. Now it is a subject for a long discussion, but I'll tell you a couple of things about it. The whole system is screwed up completely. Judicial system. I'm not talking about any other system. I'm sure there are many good things and many good institutions. The system is screwed up in the sense that right from the beginning, the grand jury, that they can get indictment by a grand jury based on the FBI investigation, and prosecutors what they are telling, and you are not even there. You are not there. Your counsel is not there, and the prosecutor can get an indictment. And the U.S. attorney will be ready to oblige and issue a warrant. Now, how could that be possible, this kind of thing? This system of grand jury started in England in 18th century, and they have given up because it becomes a tool of the government to harass the people. So that is a very simple thing. Obviously, the prisons are terrible. That need to be reformed. The question that you were raising, the recidivism can be improved a great deal if they give some hope, some opportunity to the people, those who are in prison, and give them some hope. The problem is the people have no hope. There is a total hopelessness in these people, and they think what will they do outside? It will be the same thing for them, and they will end up back again in the prison. So that need to be improved. And this culture, the worst part is the people are highly intelligent, educated people. The U.S. prosecutors, the U.S. attorney, the judges, they are highly educated people. But this mindset that they have got to win, they have got to get the conviction. And partly it is a culture, it has become a cult, and partly their further progress depends entirely on that how many convictions they have. A prosecutor wants to become a U.S. attorney wants to become federal judge, and federal judge appeals court. Everything depends on how many convictions they can get. The main charges were two. That there was, number one, that there was a conspiracy between the doctors that to manipulate the system and try to get more money from federal programs. But they were stupid in putting this kind of charge, because whatever money we get from the Medicare, it is a fixed amount of money, and government has all the records. They said that they paid us $450 million over a period of time. I had the biggest interventional pain practice in the country, according to the FBI. And these charges, when they know that it was $45 million between, I had 130 employees and 10 doctors and that kind of thing. Now they have these numbers. We don't have these. They have these numbers. How could they come up with this? Second charge, which was the main charge, was the narcotics prescriptions. That again, they have the number. Because any prescription that we write about any narcotic that is reported to state where you are working, state of Michigan in my case, they have record of everything. And finally what happened is this: they came to know that we were giving lower medication than recommended by CDC, lower than that. So the prosecutors flipped. They indicted for hire. They flipped that they were giving lower medication and keeping the patients in pain. And so jury laughed. You indict for something for the hire, and then it turned out that it was much lower. So these were the two main charges. And we